proposed ban not going over well with everyone, especially when you think of how many people are impacted. In his now viral tweet, Texas Congressman Ronny Jackson writing in part, quote, "I'll never give up my gas stove. If the maniacs in the White House come for my stove, they can pry it from my cold, dead hands." All caps, come and take it. Again, that from the congressman. The congressman and former chief medical advisor to President Trump, and President Trump here joins us now. Congressman, good to see you. I know you were fired up. Forgive the pun on words there. Can you walk us through why you are opposed to a potential ban on gas stoves?
Well, Sean, it's a shame that we're wasting our time talking about this, to be honest. This is another example of government overreach from the Biden administration, and another example of them using their agencies like this Consumer Product Protection Commission, just like they use the EPA and the SEC and the CDC, and they always go back, and you can remember from COVID and everything else, they'll say there's some kind of science behind it that justifies it. There's no valid, legitimate science that proves that, or that suggests that this type of cooking is any more hazardous than any other type of cooking. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's more efficient, and as you mentioned, 187 million Americans have this in their homes right now, 40% of the population. It's going to cost a fortune for people to go in and convert to electric, from gas, if that's what they have right now. This is just a complete fraud by the Biden administration. They're using it as a political tool to push their Green New Deal, and I just think it's pathetic that they're doing this. I mean, there's so many other things they should be worried about right now. How about focusing on the crime in our cities, or the fentanyl, or our problems overseas with Russia and China and Iran and what's going on over there, or all the other issues that we have in this country with the economy. How about they spend their time working on a backup to the NOTAM system so we don't have all the flights go down in this country right now. This is a complete waste of time. And I'll tell people right now, if you want to help me stop this, go to SaveTheStoves.com. I got a petition up and running that we're going to send to the Biden administration and tell them what nonsense this is and have them stop this stuff.
All right, there's a website up already. Interesting timing for you. Let me ask you, Congressman, the commissioner of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, Rich Trumka, he did fire back on critics on this potential ban, pointing out it would only apply to future stoves, saying this: "My guiding duty is protecting consumer health and safety. Gas stoves can emit dangerous levels of toxic chemicals even when not in use. And USCPSC will consider all approaches to regulations." So again, it would be new stoves going forward, and there would also be some sort of rebate there if you wanted to switch over to electric. Thoughts on that?
Well, as you mentioned, it's expensive, and this is a burden on the lower and middle class. These are people that use this. I have them in my home. Even people that are outraged right now. Apparently, Dr. Jill Biden uses one. AOC uses one. They're out there, talking about the hazards, and they use these things in their own homes. It's expensive. It's going to be incredibly expensive for people to tear these stoves out, to come in, have a plumber or somebody come in and convert all of their gas plumbing into electric, and have an electrician come in and do all this. It's an unnecessary burden. It's something that they've made up that fits their new Green Deal ideology, and it has to stop. And I'm telling you right now, in the House of Representatives, the Republicans in the House right now are going to put a stop to a lot of this garbage. Yesterday, we passed the law repealing the 87,000 IRS agents that they're trying to force down our throats. We created a special committee on the threats from China. We created one on the weaponization of the U.S. government, the federal agencies against the American people, and this is just another example of that. So I am totally opposed to this. They need to get back to work. They need to do stuff that's good for Americans and that helps us and increases our quality of life, not stuff that burdens us and that's expensive to hardworking people.
Let me get back to the breaking news, and then we'll let you go. Thousands of flights canceled, delayed altogether this morning. The FAA reporting now normal flight operations are resuming at a gradual pace here. But obviously a nightmare, to say the least. It is not just one airline. It was affecting every domestic airline. Your thoughts on this, sir?
Well, I think NOTAMs is important. I mean, I know a little bit about it from my time at the White House, because we put out NOTAMs all the time, like someone mentioned earlier, when Air Force One was in the area and there were flight restrictions. But it also deals with things like, the airport having issues with their landing area or their lights, or, flocks of birds being in the air. So It's an important system, but it's so important that I would think that the U.S. government should have some kind of backup here. You know, when this system goes down, another system should pick up and replace it. And apparently we don't have that. We don't have that. And probably because we're wasting a lot of our time on the new Green Deal and a bunch of the woke garbage that the Biden administration seems to be consumed with. But that's just a guess on my part.
All right. That's Texas Congressman Ronny Jackson joining us live there, again, responding to his fiery viral tweet. We appreciate that, Congressman. Good to see you as always.
Thank you, guys.
You got it.